Have you ever started an art journal? Hi, welcome to my studio. I'm Gail Hodgson. Hope you're having a great day today, and thank you for joining me. Today is going to be about art journaling. I'm really excited today to share with you my whole art journal experience. It's something that I just found invaluable, and it's been an amazing gift. So I'd like to share that with you, and my hope is to inspire you to do your own. It's really simple, and it's very worth it. I'll be sharing with you my art journal process a little bit, a little introduction to some of the supplies, and we'll just go from there. And I have page by page here, and then at the end we'll actually do an entry into the journal, into my journal, so you can watch me do it. And thanks for joining me. Just to start, the reason I started this art journal was actually, the lockdowns in 2020, and I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do with my time? There's no going anywhere. You know how we all got affected with that. But I had my studio set up to do, large artwork and fine art. But I always did really want to just take the time to experiment and play. So this has been the best. I mean, you could just take paper and whatever you have and start doing it, or start doodling and doing, all kinds of simple exercises for art and stuff like that. But a journal is kind of like a precious little book of just for you. And I am going to share mine today, but you don't have to show anybody your journal. It can be just your own. It's the same as a writing journal. This is, of course, art, and so let's we'll just dive in. So how I started was I just thought, okay, I just want to play. I don't want to do anything serious, and I don't want to overwhelm myself that it has to be a work of art. That's important too when you're a beginner. You don't just let go of all of that, all those expectations of yourself. You're just going to make marks on a page, and no one has to see it. Except for now I'm showing the whole world, but I'm not showing everything either. So, because I do have some pages clipped, shut, because they're private and not appropriate for YouTube, because those were also some sharings and some expressions that I had where I just felt really down or afraid or angry or whatever, and so I won't share some of those, but I will. There is a couple in here I will share. Okay, so just to give you a little tour of kind of like what I did, I'll just dive in. This was just a cute little thing I did. I love the color pink, and I just had all these little art supplies around, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to play and magazine tear-outs and all that kind of stuff. So this was really quite fun to do. And then one of the things, and I have a couple of pieces in here that are like that, where you just randomly take words out of magazines, and that you like, a or rose, whatever, colorful, just words like, oh, I love that, living large. You cut them out, and then you put them all together, kind of thing, almost like puzzle pieces, and you can create a really cool sounding poem. It's like a super creative process to do that. It's fun. So they just put striking, sweet, that we love equals love, and then happy little pink and garden gate, and just, it doesn't have to mean anything. It's just an expression of a mood, really. So then, this part is totally simple, and it's kind of reflective of what we're going to do later. This is just color swashes and swishes, and then doing some pen work over top. And it's just playing with color. As you can see, it's just making marks. It's totally fun to do. We all know that it's very healthy and good for our mental and emotional state to do things like meditation and journaling and stuff. And this is also that. So you're completely in the present moment, and your hands are moving, and you're doing stuff, and your stuff is sort of like appearing almost because of the color and the supplies, and it's a lovely experience. So this page is clipped shut, so I'm not showing that. Anyway, this is a lovely display of stuff of what I really want to see in, you know, the expression of life kind of thing. You know, whole earth and sea and beauty and wonder, energizing nourishment. And I love this little bunny, like, because it just looks so innocent. And again, little wording, trust your heart to make the way, things like that. It's a really cool art expression to do this, and very playful because it's not for anybody. It's just for you. And then, you know, this, again, words from magazines. I love tearing out the magazine rather than cutting it, mostly, except for I do cut out the words. And then it's just color. What are my favorite colors? Start laying them down. And then this one was more of a moody one where I was feeling afraid, like this image here. So when you're going through magazines, sometimes you'll see, you know, something that's dark or whatever, and it's kind of like, oh, I feel kind of like that. You know, give yourself permission to do that. That's great. That we're not happy, artsy people all the time. So, so that was one. And then this is cool. This is just doodling. I'm just sitting here playing with these colors, and you know, I'm not a watercolor painter, but I bought some simple supplies just to play with, you know, see the color and how they work, and with brushes and paper and all that kind of stuff. And this is all just a combination of felt pen, paint, and then doodling with felt pens and stuff like that. So this is, okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit about one of the supplies. It's fun when you find art supplies and you go, oh, wow, I can do that with that sort of thing. And I'll explain. This is Japanese craft paper. And when I saw these, I was just fell in love. These are so gorgeous, these little things. They're so pretty. And I love just cutting them out and using them in my journal. All kinds of pieces of it. And this is Little Pink Houses for You and Me, that song. But look at this stuff, it's crazy. Like here, I'll do it, this more fibrous paper here. I'll just show you on the white sheet. Isn't that pretty? Look at all that. I mean, you can just go crazy making, you could make scenes and landscapes and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, it's fun to find. You don't have to get all these supplies. These are just because I'm an artist and I can't help myself but get, you know, cool supplies. So then, you know, just again, just playful. These are all just very playful. Bits of ribbon and all kinds of stuff. Same here, just non-committal birds that look just cute. I'm not trying to do anything realistic. I mean, you can, but that's not what I was doing this for. And just working with color and wording. And then trying some things that I saw online. I'm pretty sure this was something I saw online where you're just using the watercolor and pens to just do something simple like balloon circles, and then you outline them. Fun stuff. Using some more like dollar store kind of stuff in here too. This is cool. I like this. And then finding the words, wildlife come roaring back. I love that. And I mean, it just, you know, it's not like I would write that, but I saw this in the magazine and it was sort of made sense to my soul kind of thing. And then doodling all in with a pen, that's so relaxing and meditative. And when we're, you know, stressed out and worried about stuff, and we do stuff like this, where we're doodling and just doing simple little mark making, it gives space for other things and answers and resolutions to come in. So that's very valuable, I find. And again, look at this cool words and magazines that made no sense, that I just liked them. I think I cut these out at different times. And then when I was playing with them, just put it together like this, so that for all that you are, welcoming whimsy and wonder, thrillingly suspended between past and future, reclaiming life and color. I mean, that's pretty cool. But I wouldn't have wrote that, I don't think, well. And then this is just, you know, again with this paper that I'm in love with, you know, some empowering sort of messages to myself. Doodling again. These are really pretty, this envelope looking idea with a plethora of stuff coming out of it, which is really nice idea. And naturally good living. This page here was because I was thinking about oil paint, and had seen some stuff on YouTube with people doing oil paintings and some portraits and stuff. And I remembered when I used oil paint in high school, it was really beautiful the way it blended. And I know that's what it's famous for. So I just went and got some, and I just got the 3 primary colors, and I wanted to just play with the blending of it, and wow, it is really cool. But I didn't carry on with it. I mean, this was just for play, and I wanted to experience it again, but I didn't really carry on with it because I actually don't really love all the cleanup and all that kind of stuff that goes with it. It's just not for me. Again, mark making. These are some of my favorite colors, color combinations. And then I think, oh, this is the next one is sort of more the dark realm of bad mood kind of a thing. And this is some images that I found, or I just feel like sometimes the world just kind of implodes on you, and you know, if you feel like split mind and, you know, drained of energy, just watch the news and you'll discover the devourer of life energy really quick. Well, I did. So, and then this was kind of, I mean, this looks funny now, but I remember being in this mood. I decided to design a whole bunch of emojis for how you really feel sometimes. And oops, I got to cover this one. So like these are like, you know, more deeply expressive emojis. And it was actually really cool to do this because I'm like, wow, I really feel like that. And I got to get it out, you know, on the paper. And I mean, these 2 down here, this shattered one and this one, I mean, if you've ever lost a loved one, this is how you feel. And in this one, someone gifted me with some beautiful craft paper, and I kind of went to town on it and created something kind of cool, sculptural with this paper. And then this is just inspired by some YouTube people that were doing, how cute is that? A little blob of watercolor paint and a simple little drawing on it. I love that. I think her name was CC Creations that I got inspired by this, with this. Okay, well that's the tour of my art journal. And I'm going to do an entry, just a simple one. I'll do it on this side. And I want to show you how simple you can just start with making some swishes and some marks on the page. And when things are drying, between a few layers drying, I'll talk about some of the supplies that you can start with. Okay. Now I'm just going to use this. It's very simple paint set, and make some swishes on this paper. And I also want to share with you some quotes, and I will as soon as I get a little bit of this down. One more color. I think I want something a little darker. We'll go with this blue here, deep blue. As you can see, I'm just swirling. I'm going to let that dry, and I'm actually going to do a little bit more color on here, but we'll let this dry. So I showed you the Japanese craft paper, and of course, you know, any magazines will work if you're going to use some magazine bits. I like to get, you know, gardening and magazines that show flowers and have words like bloom and stuff in it. And also health magazines are really cool too. And also fashion magazines, beauty and gorgeous and all that kind of stuff are all the words that are in those. But you can find some really cool little sweet little images and flowers in these magazines. And I mean, pretty cool, you know, all kinds of stuff you can do with. Sometimes you even just want texture that looks like rock or whatever. Anyway, you know, magazines are magazines. And how you can start very simply is, so this is a mixed media journal book. That's kind of the easiest way to start. This you can get at any art store. And it's set up to do different kind of surface, like different kind of paints. You can use acrylic, watercolor, acrylic inks, all kinds of stuff on here. And it will warp a little bit, so it's not like you can get different thicknesses too. But this is just a simple way to start. I think this is only like $12 or something like that. So, and I like the size. And again, there's a reason for the size for me, is it's not a big book that I'm gonna have to do a big work of art. It's just a simple little thing. So I like that. And then I saw something super cool. I never thought of, God, I love people on YouTube. Never thought of this. So this gal, I can't remember her name, but she does all mixed media journaling and junk journals and all this kind of stuff. Well, she took a smaller magazine like National Geographic and she took 2 or 3 pages and glued them together, right? To make a sturdier, thicker page, glued all between. I'm not going to do that, but I just wanted to show you. And then she gessoed, which is like a thick primer that you can get in an art store, both sides to sort of white blanket it out, like give you a nice base. And the magazine became her journal. Like I thought that was so cool. And in some instances, she kept some of the, you know, the image of the magazine and then gessoed off the rest of it. And I mean, there's your journal right there. That's cool. And let's see. So all of these type of things, you can use acrylic paints. If you don't want to buy big tubes, you can get a really small set. Start small, you know. Like these little things are at Michael's craft store. I think they're at $7 or something like that. Mod Podge, and felt pens, crayons, you know, whatever you have. You don't have to have all of these things, just a few, like a watercolor set and some felt pens. And I'll show you what you can do in a minute. I just want to add another bit of a color to this before I start with the pen part. Okay. And I'm using a big brush because I want to have bigger brush strokes kind of thing, swishes. Okay. Okay, I think I'm just going to leave it like that. We're going to let that dry, and then I'll show you what the kind of even cooler part. That's like, I mean, and anybody can do this. Okay, well, that's drying. I just wanted to share a couple quotes with you. The first one is, creativity doesn't wait for that perfect moment. It fashions its own perfect moments out of ordinary ones. I like that. The quote was by Bruce Garabrandt or something like that. But most of the quotes I find online and I feel inspired by, they're memes, so a lot of times they don't have the name. But some of them do, like this one, you'll recognize the name. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Albert Einstein. Love that one. And I mean, and this one's is very meaningful for me. The creative path leads directly to a sacred realm. That's definitely been my experience. I've done, participated in spiritual workshops and all that kind of stuff and searched for meaning for years and years. And all of that's been really, I'm sure added to everything too, but when I really tuned into myself creatively and expressing art is kind of probably the most sacred places that I've ever experienced in myself. Okay, so this isn't quite dry, but I think it's dry enough to do the next part, which is really cool. Now, you can use any kind of pencils, crayons, or felt pens or whatever, but I discovered these and I really like Posca pens. Wow, they're an acrylic paint pen with a nice fine tip, so you can do some pretty amazing stuff with it. Just to show you. I'm just going to outline this abstract shapes here and there. See the shapes that I made before? Now I'm just going to trace them. And we're going to end up with a cool abstract looking thing of mark making. And honestly, this is, even for a professional artist like myself, this is just the best kind of like exercise ever. And you can use, I love this too, this Micron fine line pen, felt pen. It's really nice to use too. And this is where you can just doodle, I'm just going to do some of this. I'm not going to, spend hours on it. We can also time lapse through this part a little bit too if we want. Right, well that was a nice Zen time for me. I hope it was for you, and I hope I inspired you to start your own. And if you do decide to start your own, I sure hope you leave a comment and let me know how it works for you. So what we did today was we just went through my art journal. I shared this and some simple art supplies and that you can start anytime you want. Thank you for joining me today so much. I really appreciate it, and thank you to all my subscribers. I love expressing myself this way. I didn't know I was going to love that, but I do. Thank you.